It's also showing ST elevation, probably early repolarization. Now, what that means is that you're fit.
Right guys, we're back. It's 2026 now, so started doing some YouTube last year, but these things are just like, I feel like being a professional athlete, especially in triathlon, you're spinning a lot of plates yourself, so it's quite hard to keep them all going. We're going to make more of an effort this year to get things back up and rolling, try and stay a bit more consistent and kind of mix it up. Caught me on a race week, so we just have some shorter sessions to do. We're currently warming up for a run. I'm going to do 10 by 400. We already started with a swim this morning, which was 15 100s. Descending, started at 116, finished at 108, which was a good set for me. And then we went down to a private clinic. So we went down and got an ECG, and that's a scan on your heart. And that's something that I had to do to try and get into the T100s. So San Francisco's coming up in 5.5 weeks, and in order to get in you have to have done some medical requirements. But in the meantime, we've got Challenge Salou and Challenge Summer in the championship, so both decent races, especially the championship in Slovakia. So I've actually already raced twice this year, once in January and once 2.5 weeks ago. So the one in January was like something a little bit like different. It was basically like an ultra endurance event held in the desert. We swam 3k, then ran 21k, biked 22k like over sand. You kept having to get off and push it through like proper thick sand. Then did a kayak, which was 4k, biked back again along the route you already did, so 22k again. Then 28k run to finish. So totaled 100k, but the conditions were like hot in the desert. It was like a crazy event, but it was a good race. I actually finished 4th. The reason people were doing it is because how much they paid. Like 4th was $10,000. I think they paid that into my bank about 5 days after, which is not always how it works when you get prize money. Winner was 50,000. I was actually super annoyed in that race. I try not to think about it, but basically the kayak seat was like put in wrong. You didn't do your own kayak, they had them, and it was strapped in like back to front with the straps, not the seat. So on the swim, bike and run, I was actually, I think, within 1 minute of the winner, but with the kayak I actually lost a load of time, lost like 10 minutes because I just couldn't work out why this seat wasn't working. But so I lost my house deposit. But more recently and closer to normality was Valencia 70.3. Like performance wise was great. Swam 90 seconds down on like laid low, hand sputters. It's like this German guy who's like crazy good at swimming, and a few other guys that were like really decent swimmers, and then biked 315 average, 325 normalized, so just 2 hours, and then ran a 1:10.01, but it's actually 320 super K. So across the board that was like a great performance, and it was kind of crazy. It only got me 13th, but I'd rather the performance than the result because we can carry that forward. Hopefully this week is the taper into like a bit of a, let's just say, less like deep with talent. So it's going to be a real good sort of top 5 fight, but then 2 weeks later it's going to be the championship, which is going to be like deep, strong field, so need to be firing on all cylinders for that.
First time wearing a singlet, not ever, first time this year, so I thought I'd get my pasty arms out. No shoe sponsor, but today we're going to run in the, well actually I say no shoe sponsor, I actually got these from a shop called Running Bear. They're really good. They do help me out if I ask in exchange for like a little bit of Instagram stuff, but I don't really get on that well with these. They make my toes bleed. You can see I've got it on both sides, just like where it's rubbed. Because I'm doing 400s today, they're a good shoe. But I wouldn't use them in a 70.3 because I just think my calves aren't like strong enough. So I actually race in like either Hoka's, Cielos, or Puma Fast R3s. I think people make the mistake of like, they try a run shoe out at a session like this. They're like, oh, that's really fast. But in reality, when you get off the bike, like the rocker plates in a Hoka, like if you're tired and you're heel striking, you might find that actually in a half Ironman they're slightly faster, you know, they're slightly, like they're better for when you're tired, whereas shoes like this are like really light and responsive. But yeah, 10x4, I'm trying to make this like a new taper set that's like not a full taper, but it's kind of like some good turnover. Probably 60 seconds static rest, just make sure I feel decent and start at like 3:10 and finish just under 3 minutes. But to be honest, I'm not like chasing any time today. 74, well 73 high, nice start. About to see whether it was tailwind, I think it was. Ready? That was good. Good session. Felt like, no, felt too easy. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes on race week, you like get into that habit of being like, oh, if you're shit, that means you go well. But no, it felt good. Was averaging like 70. Yeah, it felt good. Can't complain. Nice day. I think like taper sets, if you want a really simple way to think about them, you get to that like point where the session starts to go from like manageable to like hard, and like you're pushing to hold the speed, and you just stop there. So I think if I was doing that, I'd probably do 16 to 18 if it was a full session. So hopefully that's got some fast turnover and this weekend feels easy. To be fair, I think I have the same lunch every single day. Yeah, I used to have like a bacon sandwich every day or something along them lines. Now I have like a bagel usually, a nice little local Noah bagel with mozzarella, parma ham, and maybe some chili jam. I feel like I didn't mind the bacon bap because the bacon bap's like it's like fresh, you know what I mean? It's not processed. It's just like pork and bread. But no, I feel like this is a bit healthier. I'm not a fitness of health. I'll try to be my real, authentic self on videos and eat like bad food, which I do a lot of. And then Chloe always laughs because like she eats really well, or like eats lots of fruit and veg and like balanced diet, but then always seems to get ill. And then I'm the opposite. I eat like the terrible diet. Well, not terrible, but high glycogen.
It's a proper day in the life.
This is a terrible Hoover. I wouldn't have that one. I'd be a Dyson man myself. But then I've never seen the price of them, so we're gonna heat the room up with some B&Q radiators and then get on the turbo. Third session of the day, which is heat. I don't know if I would, yeah, sometimes I can't be bothered doing it. It makes you like tired. I think it has like a benefit in it's like blood plasma, and like I guess I don't always like doing loads of hours. You know, like I can do just like an hour and 15. And it's probably the equivalent of like a 3-hour like easy ride. Not on every front, but at least on like improvements I'd probably see across the range. I think it's massively underrated if you're like injured. When Chloe comes back from her surgery, I'm gonna make her do a load of heat stuff because the biomechanical load is like low. I can do like an hour and like your heart and stuff and your sweat rate and like your RPE is like really high, but then you like look at your Garmin, you've done like 150 or 200 watts. But it's easy to get wrong, which is probably the biggest worry. And like if you do it wrong, you'll turn up to like your training the next day and feel like terrible. And this is like kind of, I guess, part of me is doing it as well towards ROF, because when you like want to train specifically for a race, ROF is in like 8 weeks or something. Like in that last 4 weeks, I want to do like good sessions for ROF. I don't really want to be doing heat prep, but some years in like that part, it's just the middle of Europe, it can get up to 30 degrees, so I'd want to have like done some adaptation. But once you've got if you do it like slowly, it does take time to come down. You can just do like top up sessions. So I guess the thought process is do a few, like 1 or 2 a week, just slowly get it to somewhere that then like you could do 2 weeks like focused on it, and it would be like pretty much up to 100%. It's a piece of a very big puzzle that no one has the answer to.
So we've chipped in to this heat session. We're like just getting started. This is always the worst bit because you have to bring yourself up to that point of it's uncomfortable, and like that's normally where you'd want to make it comfortable, but instead you just keep it there. So we're going to keep it there for about another 40 minutes, and that's kind of like the day really. We're signing it off because after that I'm going to eat normal dinner. Gonna have, I think we've got salmon, which makes me sound healthy, but I don't really like it. It's just meant to be good for your joints, so I have it once a week. Then yeah, so the whole day was like swim, which Jacob didn't come to, but then we did the run, which he came along to. Good session. Now 3rd session of the day, so pretty frequent. Like I train quite frequently, but not loads. Average volume like 22 to 25 hours a week. So maybe in future videos we'll go through like a whole week, but that was a good little insight into how the year started and what we've got going on so far, and I'm going to try and keep the ball rolling. Well, I think I said that last year, never did. We'll try and keep the ball rolling properly this time. So yeah, over and out.